Well, what do we got here? It's official. Iran has now been officially attacked by Israel. Great. Fantastic. Excellent. Very cool. And then what? They got fucking. It's mostly like civilian areas that have been bombed, so. I don't know. I think the only time when Iran has attempted to strike Israel back, Boy Meets Mini, was when Israel initially attacked Iran in the past, I believe. Yeah, they sent an attack. It was like mostly like a drone attack, saying like, as like a very like reserved response to be like, I don't remember what it was exactly that caused the tensions. This was like a couple months ago, or like at least a year ago. There was an attack. Most of the drones that were sent got intercepted by U.S. partners in the area. I think this was in response to, I think, a bunch of scientists getting assassinated by Mossad, I want to say. I think it was a bunch of scientists got, like, assassinated or some shit. And that they responded by, like, okay, we're sending in a bunch. We're going to send a drone attack. This is supposed to be mostly symbolic. We're going to be done with this. And then it was done with. But, of course, we all know the reason why Israel is doing this. They're trying to do this to maintain the wartime cabinet, so Netanyahu can stay in power for longer. That's the whole purpose of this. Like, I think, as per by Democracy Now, I think Israel's government was about to collapse. Basically, Israel government about to collapse, and there was like a vote in the Knesset that was about to like quite literally, yeah, there was a vote that was about to dissolve the Knesset. So he's now attacking Iran as a sort of way to either delay or to not have to fucking deal with any of this shit. Yeah, the Haredi party wants Bibi out. How many seats does the Haredi party have in comparison to Likud? Like who's the majority within Israel, within the Israeli parliament? Majority party in the Knesset. So that's like the centrists. There's the Likud party. They're the government. And obviously all the far right parties decided to come together. Wow, there's a lot of different fucking parties. That's really, really funny that are sort of come together. It's all the right-wing parties have basically made the demon coalition. That's really, really fucking funny. And I'm assuming that this is the more fucking goddamn the liberal party. Is this them? The Haredi party? No, it's Shaw's. Social right wing fiscal center left. Shaw's is the Haredi faction. Okay, so they made a Voltron to oppose the Likud party, and the Likud party also has their own Voltron, and that's how it fucking works. Okay, so Voltron shit, yada yada yada. We get the analogy. Yeah, there was a fucking a vote that nearly passed in the Knesset, right? But it barely didn't pass. That would have dissolved the government. And again, like I've said before, if the fucking coalition under Likud, if it fucking dissolves and collapses, it's over for Benjamin Netanyahu. Because guess what will happen if the government fucking dissolves? There's going to be elections, and Benjamin Netanyahu is more than likely going to fucking lose them because he's not very popular right now. People do not want him in office anymore because, again, of his just like complete idiotic belligerence and killing of hostages. And, well, now we have this shit. But if he keeps the wartime cabinet going for as long as he can, because I've said this before, he wants to keep it going for as long as possible up until he himself is probably fucking dead. Because guess what's swirling around him? Corruption charges. Before he got back into power as prime minister of Israel, well, what was happening? There was a trial going on for Benjamin Netanyahu for corruption charges, a trial that a trial that he was probably going to lose. So guess what? He got back into power, formed the fucking wartime cabinet, started doing all the fucking stupid, idiotic shit with attacks upon the Palestinians, and now attacks upon fucking Iran at this point. in order to maintain that coalition. So, well, guess what? His dumbass doesn't go to fucking jail. But what do we got here? IDF spokesperson BGFE Brigadier General, Brigadier General Effie Defrin on the preemptive Israeli strike on Iranian nuclear targets. From a lot of the footage that I've seen, a lot of them were civilian targets. Yeah. I think those nuclear targets might be too well defended. I don't know.
For years, the Iranian regime has called for the destruction of the State of Israel, planning and advancing concrete military plans to do so. Over the past few months, intelligence has shown that Iran is closer than ever to obtaining a nuclear weapon.
I wonder why that's the case. Oh, there was something that was stopping them from doing that. And again, keep in mind, you want to know like what Benjamin Netanyahu was doing before the fucking trying to stop the passing of the fucking JCPOA? He was trying for like the longest time ever to make sure that stuff doesn't pass, still lying about what the Iranians were doing in terms of nuclear fucking enrichment. And why was he fucking doing that? Oh, because guess what? He didn't want the JCPOA to fucking go through. Like we all know, Benjamin Netanyahu on the JCPOA. He's opposed to any interim U.S.-Iran deal, so very cool. So this shit at UN Assembly, Israel's Netanyahu claims Iran harboring secret nuclear site. So this this was in 2018, where at this fucking point, guess what? Whoa, the JCPOA was put in place at that point, and here he is fucking lying about Iran, about like nuclear material that was stored, because again, it was, guess what, being stored for the express purpose of what exactly? Oh, civilian fucking use, because they were following the fucking JCPOA to a letter as per the IAEA. Well, apparently not anymore, but for all the fucking years that was it was in place before Trump just randomly fucking ripped it up for no reason. Like, it was about 11 meetings that they had with the IAEA, which is the nuclear watchdog for the UN. Guess what they were doing? They were following the deal to a letter. And guess what? Trump decided to get rid of it because, again, well, Obama did it, and I don't like that Obama did it. I want to do it instead. They were following it. Then Trump rips it up. The Europeans try to renegotiate it because they're just like, can we please just not fucking have to deal with this bullshit? Those fucking talks fell completely through, and guess what? Now the Iranians were pretty much guaranteed to start working towards a nuclear weapon. Keep in mind that shit got torn up at this point like over 6 years ago. And it's all because of lies from this fucking Holocaust revisionist motherfucker. So that's cool. Great.
This morning, the IDF began preemptive and precise strikes targeting the Iranian nuclear program in order to prevent the Iranian regime's ability to build a nuclear bomb in the...
Alright, hold on. Let's check if that's really the case. Let's see. Let's take a look at some of the strikes. Fuck it. I don't know, this looks to be by a highway. This doesn't look like a nuclear site. Okay. We got... I don't think this is a I don't think this is a nuclear site either. This looks like an apartment building. So, you know, was there a scientist living in this apartment building? Sure. I definitely believe Israel when they say that. Very cool. Wouldn't hitting a nuclear facility be a radiation hazard? Do you think that fucking... What? Do you think that fucking these dumbasses really, quite literally, fucking care about any of that shit? No. They don't give a fuck about that.
Well, yeah.
Alright, shut up. Oh, Chris Murphy, what's he have to say? Israel's attack on Iran clearly intended to scuttle the Trump administration's negotiations with Tehran. This is true. Is further evidence of how little respect world powers, including our own allies, have for President Trump. Well, they didn't really have much respect for Joe Biden either, Chris Murphy. Sorry to burst your bubble there, bud. but he ain't wrong. Autobots bombing Iran. That's crazy. Who would have thought such a thing could be possible? Oh, a statement from Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Tonight, Israel took unilateral action against Iran. We are not involved in strikes against Iran. Sure. And our top priority is protecting American forces in the region. Israel advises that they believe this action was necessary for its self-defense. Yeah, dude, bombing a fucking apartment building and a highway. Totally necessary for self-defense. Sure, man. President Trump and the administration have taken all necessary steps to protect our forces and remain in close contact with our regional partners. From what I understand, Iran is going to retaliate against U.S. bases in Iraq, I think. And probably also against Israeli assets. They're probably going to shoot rockets and missiles and shit. Probably at, like... I'm trying to remember some of the fucking air bases in Israel. There's one in the Negev, I think. And there's probably some in, like, the southern parts of Israel as well that I think are going to get bombed. I don't remember the names, though. But that's cool. Let me be clear. Iran should not target U.S. interests or personnel. Well, a little too late for that. Maybe you shouldn't have... maybe the Israelis shouldn't have attacked. I don't know. Maybe. Who would have thought? Like, I highly doubt there's no fucking way. Very, very cool. Very, very good. Now, what else does this dumbass have to say?
The immediate time frame. We have no choice. We are operating against an imminent and existential threat.
I'm pretty sure there are plenty of choices. You know, there was a deal that was being negotiated. Now, to whatever effect that deal was going to have, because again, so far, like, the deal pretty much consisted of Iran, don't enrich uranium, not even for civilian purposes. Just don't fucking do it at all whatsoever. And maybe you'll have sanctions relief. Maybe. Even though I think he's also said in, like, a press conference that he wants to, like, trade with Iran and do anything possible to try to, like, make them not have a fucking goddamn nuclear weapon. And then apparently not within the actual negotiated parts of the deal. Who the fuck knows what Trump exactly wants? Very cool. Very good.
We cannot allow the Iranian regime to obtain a nuclear weapon that would be a danger to Israel and the entire world.
Okay, the problem is that your fucking actions are what is prompting the Iranians to want to seek out a fucking nuclear weapon. There was already a deal in place which was working to make it such that they were not going to obtain a fucking nuclear weapon. Like, literally, that was already, like, in place. And then you guys probably got into Trump's ear, said, like, you know who signed that bill? It was Obama. Don't you want to make your own fucking bill? But yeah, sure, totally. Well, yeah, exactly, Boy Meets Mini. Yeah, the Russians not making nukes isn't a problem. It's only the Iranians. But then again, let's be honest. Let's be honest here. Why the fuck would the Russians bomb the Israelis? Guess where a lot of the Jews migrating to Israel came from? It was from Russia. Because of a funny little man named Stalin. Stalin, he was a big fan of Israel initially. He was initially a big fan of Israel, so then he could deport a bunch of the Russian Jews to Israel. Whoops. Very, very cool. Israel has the highest number of nukes per capita, 90 warheads, 9 million people. Nah. What do you mean? Allegedly. We don't actually know if they have those. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Separation is for our right to exist here, for our future, and for our children's future.
Oh, of course.
The State of Israel has the right and the obligation to operate in order to protect its people.
Yeah, dude, because you bombing a random fucking apartment building in a random highway is definitely going to be the main thing that's sort of like is going to help ensure the safety of your people. Totally, bro. Yeah. Sure.
And will continue to do so. The IDF conducted significant preparations for this operation. We are well prepared, both in defense and offense, to defend ourselves. The IDF...
Yeah, dude, a preemptive strike is a way to defend yourself. I don't think the logic's checking out here, guys.
will continue to defend the state of Israel.
Cool. Well, dumbass fucking liar, full of shit, very stupid individual. But let's see. Iran announces new nuclear enrichment site after UN watchdog censure. Let's see, what do we got here? I'm a little curious. Iran has said it has built and will activate a third nuclear enrichment facility, ratcheting up tensions with the UN on Thursday immediately after its atomic watchdog agency censured Iran for failing to comply with non-proliferation obligations meant to prevent it from developing a nuclear weapon. Iran has amassed an even more near weapons grade uranium. So again, well, we have like no real reason to doubt the IAEA. Like, let's be honest here, Boy Meets Mini. Why would they be in cahoots with? Why would the UN want to be in cahoots with the Israelis? The Israelis have done everything possible to like snub them at every single point, but well, the thing is what it was reportedly at like 60%. There was a story about this earlier. It was like 60% enrichment. It's not enough for weapons grade uranium, but again, it's not really surprising that they were going to enrich more uranium to weapons grade, which needs to be like 90%, I think, or something, for be able to create a nuclear weapon. It's not surprising that this is going to happen inevitably because of the fact that, well, the JCPOA was torn up. They're guaranteed to now get a fucking nuke. Like, why are you people surprised by any of this stuff? It's silly. So right here, yeah. Increase of 133.8 kilograms to about 300 pounds, or almost 50% since the IAEA's last report in February. That 60% enriched material is a short technical step away from a weapons grade of 90%. A report February and put this stockpile at 274.8 kilograms, or about 600 pounds. That's what it is. Yeah, thank you, Chuck Schumer. Very cool. The report comes at a sensitive time as the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump seeks to reach out a deal with Tehran to limit its nuclear program. Yeah, so far that which has been, like I said before, complete fucking nothing burger. Literal fucking nothing burger. Saying like, well, Iran, we're not going to give you anything and we expect you to do everything and stop enriching uranium because it's bad. It's like, okay, like, why? You're not, like, offering sanctions relief or trade, even though you said that before, but apparently not now. I don't know. Stupid. Let's continue here. Hours later, Israel attacked Iran's capital as explosions were heard in Tehran early Friday. Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu said the attacks would continue for as long as it would take to remove this threat. Sure, man. Again, the only reason you're fucking doing this is, whoa, crazy, just because you want to keep the war cabinet going, because again, the Knesset was about to collapse and dissolve. So you want to keep the war cabinet going for as long as possible. Yeah, like, this is just not grounds to attack. So that's really cool. The censure by the IAEA, in its first in 20 years over Iranian noncompliance, could set in motion an effort to restore sanctions on Iran later this year. The Islamic Republic of Iran has no choice but to respond to this political resolution, the Iranian Foreign Ministry and Atomic Energy Organization said in a joint statement in response to the censure. Yeah, okay, bro. U.S. President Donald Trump had previously warned that Israel or America could launch airstrikes against Iranian nuclear facilities. Yeah, if I recall, this is fucking, not San Diego. I keep forgetting the name of that one dumbass island airbase where, like, a bunch of B-2s have been fucking getting deployed to. Something Diego. I fucking forget that. What's the name of it again, Boy Meets Mini? You know how I am with fucking names. It's something Diego airbase. What the fuck is the name of this shit? Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean. There we go. The chat wasn't loading for some reason. Yeah, Diego Garcia, that dumbass military base, which is in the fucking goddamn Indian Ocean. Whoa, more and more fucking aircraft have been getting deployed there. I wonder for what. I wonder why they've been putting a bunch of stuff there. If negotiators failed to reach a deal on Iran's rapidly advancing nuclear program, a sixth round of Iran-U.S. talks is scheduled to begin Sunday in Oman, and as tensions simmer, some American government staffers deemed non-essential have begun leaving the Gulf region. Stolen land from the Chagosian people, by the way. Well, you know. To be expected. Trump had said Thursday he was still urging Iran to negotiate a deal, but that he was concerned a massive conflict could occur in the Middle East if it does not. Well, I have bad news, Trump. Your fucking schizophrenic buddy, Benjamin Netanyahu, said, like, no, we're going to do a little bit of trolling instead. I don't want to say imminent, but it looks like it's something that could very well happen, Trump said in response to a question from a reporter about a potential Israeli attack. Look, it's very simple, not complicated. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Okay, so then you tell Benjamin Netanyahu, okay, this is really easy, Trump, okay? To give yourself some more fucking goddamn leverage and time to try to negotiate a fucking deal and actually, like, I don't know, give some kind of a deal that the Iranians would want. You know what you fucking do? Crazy. You stop fucking arming and shipping weapons to the Israelis, saying, like, okay, we're going to give you 0 fucking offensive weapons. No more fucking offensive weapons. No more fucking aid. We'll give you fucking defensive capabilities or whatever the fuck that can mean. And we are going to negotiate with the Iranians. We just need some time to fucking talk with them. Fuck off. But that was never going to fucking happen because, again, pro-peace candidate Trump basically does nothing necessary at all in order to compromise or talk about fucking peace. Because, again, it was never about peace for these motherfuckers. These guys don't give a fuck about peace. These people have never given a shit about peace. Ever. Hours before Israel's attack, Trump offered a guarded optimism that a conflict could still be avoided, and he said he was urging Netanyahu to hold off from taking action for the time being. Well, glad to see where that went. He later took to social media to emphasize that his entire administration has been directed to negotiate with Iran. As long as I think there is a chance for an agreement, I don't want them going in because I think it would blow it. I mean, you know, I'll give you that one, Trump. You are correct. It would probably blow it. I think it's been blown. Wah, 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 wah. Trump said in his comments to reporters. I mean, at least Marco Rubio's getting what he wanted. War with Iran. Because he's always wanted war with Iran. Dude, like I've said before, if the United States goes to fucking war with Iran, it's gonna, like, it's fucking, the amount of, like, shit show that Iraq was, that's gonna look like a fucking cakewalk in comparison to an invasion of Iran. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck dealing with the fucking, the Zangris Mountains, buddy, okay? Because guess what? Guess what Iran mostly is? Mountainous. It is very, very mountainous in that region. Very, very mountainous. So, yeah, have fun with that. Trump said he felt it was unnecessary for his administration on Wednesday to direct a voluntary evacuation of non-essential personnel and their families from some U.S. diplomatic outposts in the Middle East. I don't want to be the one that didn't give any warning and missiles are flying into their buildings. It's possible, so I had to do it, he said. Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, 10 times the amount of population Iran has in comparison to Israel. Like, it's just not... Israel doesn't have the numbers or the amount of weapons or anything. Technically speaking, the only advantage fucking Israel has is nuclear capabilities over Iran, technically speaking, which is why they are doing what they are doing in the assassination of all these fucking nuclear scientists constantly. So, you know, they don't want to lose their one fucking goddamn advantage. So, lovely. Very cool. Why do you think that Silicon Tech Valley... why do you think Silicon Valley tech bros are making autonomous drones and jets? Yep, pretty much. 19 countries on the IAEA's Board of Governors voted for the resolution to censure Iran, according to diplomats who spoke on the condition of anonymity to describe the outcome of the closed doors vote. The resolution was put forward by France, the UK, Germany, and the US. China, Russia, and Burkina Faso opposed it, while 11 abstained and 2 didn't vote. But it still went forward. Some kind of democracy we got here, folks, don't we? The resolution calls on Iran to provide answers without delay in a long-running investigation into traces of uranium found at several locations Tehran has failed to declare as nuclear sites, according to a draft seen by the Associated Press. Okay, It's called the JCPOA was torn up. So it was always a matter of time until the Iranians were going to make a nuclear weapon. Oh my God. Oh, whoa. Crazy. I know. I listen, I understand this is a very difficult concept for the, broader Western world to understand, but, maybe, just maybe, that's why they started enriching uranium to weapons grade? Nah. Could be any other reason. Western officials suspect that uranium traces could provide further evidence that Iran had a secret nuclear weapons program until 2003. Sure, man. Whatever. Iran steps in retaliation for censure. Speaking to Iranian state television after the UN agency's vote, the spokesman for the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran said that his agency immediately informed the IAEA of actions Tehran would take. One is the launch of a third secure site for enrichment. Spokesman Behruz Kamalvandi said. He did not elaborate on the location, but the organization's chief, Mohammed Eslami, later described the site as already built, prepared, and located in a secure and invulnerable place. Yeah, probably in a mountain somewhere. Yeah, good luck getting to that, Israel. Another step would be replacing old centrifuges with advanced ones at a new underground site at Fordo. Our production of enriched materials will significantly increase, Kamalvandi said. Iran has two underground sites at Fordo and Natanz, and it has been building tunnels in the mountains under Natanz since suspected Israeli sabotage attacks targeted that facility. Again, whoa, I wonder why the Iranians are rushing to try to get a fucking goddamn nuclear weapon. I couldn't possibly think of anything else. Could be possibly a possible common denominator that could be causing all these problems. Who knows? Who knows who could be doing this? Why they could be so desperate for trying to fucking get a nuclear weapon? Who knows? Iran said other measures were also being planned in response to the UN agency's censure. The IAEA draft resolution said Iran's many failures to uphold its obligations since 2019 to provide the agency with full and timely cooperation regarding undeclared nuclear material and activities at multiple undeclared locations in Iran constitutes non-compliance with its obligations. Now, this is a very simple question. I wonder what happened particularly in 2019. And what happened? What happened? When was that? When did they withdraw? Former Secretary of State Colin Powell reiterating his fucking support. I just want the year it was torn up. That's what I want. It was in 2018. It says 2018, huh? It's very great, fantastic, very cool. Let's just do a quick little Control F. No formal provisions. What? Throughout 2017, Trump contemplated on not recertifying, thus effectively pulling out of the deal. Yeah, because for whatever reason, the U.S. had to keep basically recertifying the deal, and eventually he was just like, okay, I'm not going to recertify it anymore. And that's literally about it. Which effectively, withdrew the U.S. from the deal. And then it completely fell apart from there. Some reports suggest that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Iran lied presentation influenced the withdrawal. Oh, so it's the fault of Israel. Very cool. He announced the withdrawal during a speech at the White House on May 8th, 2018. There we go. The heart of the Iran deal was a giant fiction that a murderous regime desired only a peaceful nuclear energy program. Trump added that there was definitive proof that this Iranian promise was a lie. Last week, Israel published intelligence documents long concealed by Iran, conclusively showing the Iranian regime and its history of pursuing nuclear weapons. Which is a complete lie. During the 11 visits of the IAEA, it was shown that Iran was always compliant, but of course, schizophrenic in power, Benjamin Netanyahu, of course, constantly said, like, well, you know, he's lying. Iran's just lying. Evidence? We don't have any. They're just lying. But that's cool. Very, very, very cool. Very good. We love that. Oh yeah, Boy Meets Mini. The Abrahamic Accords, again, once the JCPOA was gone, it's essentially the bulwark against Iran plan. That's basically the point of it. And Iran doing nuclear isn't even an issue worth criticizing about their government. They are way worse on civil liberties. Do you think that Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump give a fuck about civil liberties? Hilarious. Under those obligations, which are part of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, Iran is legally bound to declare all nuclear material and activities and allow IAEA inspectors to verify that none of it is being diverted from peaceful uses. The IAEA... Okay, here's the thing. The JCPOA was fucking helping enforcing this, okay? But then Trump fucking... Can we focus on the root causes and the root factors? And that's Trump. He's the one he's the big problem in this. That with the Abrahamic Accords. Well, crazy. Forcing the Iranians to basically be like, we need to get a fucking nuclear weapon as fast as possible to make sure that we don't get invaded by any of these fucking motherfuckers. Crazy. The IAEA's draft resolution hints at reporting Iran to the UN Security Council to consider more sanctions, stressing that the global body is the organ bearing the main responsibility for the maintenance of international peace and security. Oh, for sure. Totally. It also said it supports a diplomatic solution to the problems, which includes the talks between the U.S. and Iran. Really? Okay. Still a chance for Iran to cooperate with IAEA. A senior Western diplomat last week described the UN watchdog resolution as a serious step, but added that Western nations are not closing the door to diplomacy on this issue. However, if Iran fails to cooperate, an extraordinary IAEA board meeting will likely be held in the summer, during which another resolution could get passed that will refer the issue to the Security Council. Oh boy. That's gonna be a complete fucking shit show, let's be honest here. I mean, Russia is currently on the fucking Security Council, so they would probably veto that shit immediately if the fucking US decides to put in any resolution saying, like, well, it's time to authorize everyone to invade Iran, because fuck Iran. So, that's cool. The diplomat said on the condition of anonymity, because he wasn't authorized to discuss the issue with the media. Very cool. France, the UK, and Germany have repeatedly threatened in the past to reinstate sanctions that were lifted under the 2015 Iran nuclear deal if Iran does not provide technically credible answers to the UN nuclear watchdog's questions. Here's the thing. Trump tore out the deal, and then guess what? Well, there's no deal anymore that was enforcing anything. And what happened to you guys trying to renegotiate the Iran nuclear deal that Trump randomly fucking tore up? What happened with that? What happened? Oh, it went nowhere. Great. Fantastic. The authority to reestablish these sanctions by the complaint of any member of the original 2015 nuclear deal expires in October. That puts the West on a clock to exert pressure on Tehran over its program before losing that power. Interesting. So soon Iran will be completely unchained. The Thursday's resolution follows the IAEA's so-called comprehensive report that was circulated among member states last weekend. In the report, the UN nuclear watchdog said Iran's cooperation with the agency has been less than satisfactory when it comes to uranium traces discovered by agency inspectors at several locations in Iran. Again, I wonder why that these uranium traces are being discovered. It couldn't possibly be because of a particular deal that got ripped up in 2018. Couldn't be anything. One of the sites became known publicly in 2018 after Netanyahu revealed it at the United Nations. Oh, with that fucking schizo diagram where he was just lying? Very cool. And called it a clandestine nuclear warehouse hidden at a rug cleaning plant. That is so God, they even are throwing in the fucking racism. Of course it was at a rug cleaning plant. God, that is so fucking funny, bro. That it was a rug cleaning plant. We love the sprinkling of Israeli racism. It's because of those accursed. It's because of those accursed Persian rugs, guys. Blast. Yeah, yeah, like, one of my dumbass friends at school, when I was talking about carpet bombing for some reason, because I like military shows when I was a kid, because I'm a nerd and a freak, obviously. When I was describing what carpet bombing was, is like, oh, what, do people like literally wrap the bombs in carpets? I'm just like, that's not what that means, but that's cool. Iran denied this, but in 2019, IAEA inspectors detected the presence of uranium traces there, as well as at 2 other sites. Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, I don't know how to pronounce this, who campaigned on reaching out to the West, struck a harder line after the IAEA vote. I do not know how to cooperate with the outside world to stop them from doing evil acts and let the people live independently in this country, Pezekian said. We will continue down our own path. We will have enrichment. Why? I wonder why they're going to have enrichment. Who would have thought? Oh, could probably be because of a particular nuclear deal that got ripped up. Nah, couldn't be because of anything in particular, huh? Very, very cool. What we got here? Our boy, Kyle Kalinske. Ted Cruz lying? Who would have thought that Ted Cruz lies?
Los Angeles, and so Israel is acting to defend themselves. And Sean, tonight, we should
Senator,
stand unequivocally with the state of Israel.
Senator, if I may interrupt.
Guys, we need to have a suicide pact with Israel, guys. Yeah, like, what were they even getting attacked by? What, like Palestinian children with rocks? Were the Iranians planning on attacking them? Again, I have to listen. My good pal, my good friend, Ted Cruz. I wonder why the Iranians were, going ahead with weapons grade enrichment for uranium, further enriching uranium. I wonder why. Oh, it couldn't have been because of the tearing up the JCPOA on the 8th of May in 2018. It couldn't have anything to do with this. So very, very cool. Going along with one of fucking Benjamin Netanyahu's dumbass fucking lies. So that's pretty cool. Listen, Benjamin Netanyahu thought like the fucking little cluster, little cluster bomblets within the nuclear warhead, they were gonna be fucking wrapped up in Persian rugs or something. Hilarious. Very cool. Should be fairly obvious what's going on here. The emergence of the emergence of fucking World War III. Now I don't like doing that fucking LARP and meme. The Israel-U.S. death pact. Spiraling to death. Who would have thought such a thing could be fucking possible? We all know what's going on here. The reason for as to why Israel is fucking doing this is because they want to maintain the fucking wartime cabinet. Because again, what happened not that long ago? Whoa, crazy. The fucking Knesset was about to dissolve. Quite literally. And Benjamin Netanyahu was about to lose power. Who would have thought that such a thing could have happened? Yeah, it's time to spiral to actual rap. It's time for the rapture. Yay. Very, very cool. Well, shouldn't really have expected anything else. It's time for the rapture. This is exactly what all the evangelicals wanted. They wanted nuclear hellfire for everyone, but unfortunately, they're not going to go to heaven. I don't think anyone's going to go to heaven. Everyone's going to just suffer. I don't know, nuclear apocalypse. I'm being a little facetious, obviously. That's probably not going to happen. But this is certainly like quite the fucking escalation that is being done here by the Israelis. For what purpose exactly? Because Benjamin Netanyahu needs to, let's be fucking honest here. Benjamin Netanyahu is doing this to maintain his own power. He wants to maintain the war cabinet for as long as possible so then he doesn't get jailed for his corruption charges because he's an incredibly corrupt and unpopular fucking politician. That is the main fucking problem here. Whoa. Who would have thought that, Benjamin Netanyahu was very fucking unpopular because of all the stupid belligerent nonsense he's doing. Crazy. So, We have potential war between Israel and Iran. Very cool. Or rather, they just bombed Iran. Along with the fact that they're also, bombing Syria. They're also bombing Lebanon. Still bombing Gaza as well. Still doing a genocide. Very cool and very good. We love Israel, don't we, folks? We love Israel basically bombing everyone around them and just being a complete belligerent. So I don't know. I guess this is the potential start of the end of Trump's negotiation autism. No more negotiations. I guess it's all fucking Jover. So that's cool. Yeah, only the most moral of bombing campaigns. We know Boy Meets Mini. We all know. So as expected, we all know why Israel is fucking doing this. It's all about maintenance of their own Benjamin Netanyahu's power, because he wants to do everything possible in the book in order to make sure that his dumb ass doesn't go to fucking jail. That's all there really is to say about this, to be quite honest. I suppose this is going to be a quick addendum to the attacks being done on Iran by the Israeli Defense Force, quote unquote. An Iranian analyst said last night that Netanyahu may have convinced Trump that bombing Iran would actually make a deal more achievable, not less. Okay, how the fuck does that even work exactly? Like, how does rationing up the tensions, like, by bombing apartment buildings, because that's what Israel is doing. And so far, I think the only confirmed casualty has been a child. Israel is saying, yeah, we also killed some scientists and apparently a top IRGC commander for whatever reason, because that's totally gonna, help the situation in terms of negotiating. Like, does Trump think, if he's just okay, Iran, we had Israel, our attack dog, just kill some of your guys, so you're gonna take the deal, or we're gonna slap more sanctions on you? Is it does he really think this is gonna work or something? I don't know. I don't get it. Just very, very strange. Very, very, very strange. Both this comment and the one from Rubio fit that theory. It's evidence of Netanyahu's cleverness, if so, and Trump's lunacy. Well, definitely Trump's lunacy. Netanyahu being clever about this? I mean, I don't think it's Netanyahu being clever. I think it's just Netanyahu recognizing that if I just get into Trump's ear all of a sudden, and I don't know, playing to Trump's autistic fixation of trying to be a deal maker for the moment, that maybe that this will work and they'll just let us go forward with just bombing the Iranians, because that's what really the Israelis were waiting for. They were waiting for the fucking green light. Let's be honest here. What we got here from the El Trutheroni from Trumperoni. I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. Okay, keep in mind what the deal has been between the Iranians and the U.S. has basically been okay, Iran, we are basically saying that you are not allowed to enrich uranium under any circumstance at all, but we will not be lifting sanctions. Just stop enriching the uranium. And that's pretty much been the deal making that's been going on. Otherwise, the Iranians are just expected to stop and just comply or something. Maybe there's been some sort of talk about sanctions relief, but I've not seen any of that. Do we know any of the details Boy Meets Mini besides that? That's the only thing that I really know of from the deal. I'll be honest. It's just been okay, we expect you to do everything, and we're gonna do nothing, folks. You're gonna do nothing. That's what we're gonna do. Or we're gonna do nothing, and you have to do everything. Just stop enriching the uranium. Just stop. Not even for civilian purposes. And those are that's pretty much all that I know of from this deal. So that's really cool. I told them in the strongest words to just do it. Oh, Nike commercial. But no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. Is he talking about enriching to 90%? What they almost got there, right? They made it to. They had I think about 700 pounds of not 700. I think it's 600 pounds of enriched uranium to 60. That was at 60% enrichment, and from what I understand, based off of what the IAEA said, is that there's just a simple hop, skip, and a jump to getting it to 90% enrichment. And once it's at 90%, that's when it is capable of becoming a nuclear weapon. Because You put the uranium, you split Joe Adams, and then you make a big boom. The basics of an atomic bomb. Very cool. I told them it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated, or were told, that the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world, by far, and that Israel has a lot of it, and with much more to come. Ah, yes, of course. Hey, Republicans. Hey. Jingling the keys. I'm jingling the keys. Pro-peace? What happened to pro-peace? Canada, what's going on here? Republicans? I mean, we could just go to, like, I don't know, praying for Israel. Let's see. How many Republicans are praying for Israel? Pro-peace candidates, by the way. Pro-peace guys. Well, this guy's not a Republican, but he's a Zionist, so praying for Israel. Here's a senator. Please join me in praying for Israel. U.S. Senator of the great state of Alabama. Cool. Lovely. Very cool. We love that. Oh, here we go. We got the big compilation. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Can I zoom in, please? Very, very cool. Let me just open this image in a new tab. Look at that. Rick Scott, Bernie Moreno, Lindsey Graham, John Bozeman, Steve Daines, Susan Collins. Look at all these Republicans praying for Israel. Not very clear, but you get the gist. Basically, like, I think these are like every fucking Republican senator praying for Israel. Very, very cool. And they know how to use it. Yeah, on children. Yeah, they sure know how to use those weapons on children. Killing them. Very cool. Certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They're all dead now, and it will only get worse. Yeah, dude, because if you just keep killing all the different military commanders and people who may be able to speak for peace and may want to do some deal or negotiating, this is totally going to work in terms of, well, helping catalyze the Iranians to come to the table to accept a much worse deal for no reason. That's really going to work because guess what? The Iranians, they're going to have the fucking support of not only the Chinese, but the Russians. They're going to have the support of a bunch of different people. And guess what? The Europeans and the rest of the allies that the U.S. has, no one's going to want to join in on them because it's just like, yeah, we really don't want anything to do with any of this. Like, yeah, you guys are on your own for this one. Like, nah, we're not committing to anything. Fuck you guys. You guys have fun. Whatever. There has already been great death and destruction, but there is still time to make this slaughter, with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal, come to an end. Okay, like, what do we? I mean, if we're talking about like Israel here in particular, what do we mean by like more brutal attacks? I don't know. I guess like murdering more children or something, because that's like the only like confirmed casualty that we know of for certain is they killed the kid. Israel has a very, very good talent at killing kids. They love killing kids. That's like their favorite thing to do. But that's cool. We love Israel, don't we, folks? Very cool. Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left. Okay. Iran is a very big country, very mountainous. How the fuck do you expect them to fucking... By them, I mean the Israelis. The Israelis to be able to win this war. Iran has 10 times the population. Iran is incredibly mountainous and is fucking huge in comparison to Israel, okay? They're not going to surrender without a fight because all the numbers are in favor of the Iranians. I mean, like, in terms of, like, a people aspect, I suppose. This is not gonna fucking work, man. Like, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's just gonna be pointless and needless destruction. Because again, we know like sort of like the most of the sort of pretenses and details of the deal that fucking Trump tried to negotiate. They were basically saying like, all right, Iran, you have to give us everything, and we expect to get nothing, and you have to expect to get nothing, but you have to give us everything we want. So it's just like, all right, sure, man, totally. And save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. It would have been the Persian Empire, but Okay. No more death. No more destruction. Just do it before it's too late. God bless you all. Yeah, man. Because, I don't know, like... The ramblings of the Mad King are definitely going to help assuage the Iranians to come to the negotiating table, because, like, I don't know, you guys are just, like, randomly bombing the fuck out of them. Like, broadly speaking, do people understand, like, this is just not going to do anything? It's just going to harden them. They're going to bunker down and try to fight it out with the Israelis, more than likely. Like, this isn't going to accomplish anything. It's just going to cause more death. But, Israel is fine with that because, Israel loves killing people. That's, like, their favorite thing to do on any day that ends with Y. So, this is really going to work out in terms of, I don't know, your, like, autistic fixation to try to make deals, Trump. But then again, the only reason why he's doing this is it's purely just because Netanyahu got into his ear all of a sudden and said, like, wouldn't it be really cool if we just bombed the Iranians to try to get them to come to the deal, because they'd be really likely to come to the deal if we just bomb the fuck out of them. It's like, oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, bomb the shit out of them, Israel, do it. And that's probably just how the conversation went. If I were to make if I was going off of what Ryan Grimm is saying, and I think there's certainly some merit to it, all right, because this isn't synonymous. This has happened before, okay? This is Trump that we're talking about. Very cool and very good. Yeah, knowing Trump, that's more than likely what happened. So, very cool, very good. War between Israel and Iran. We love that. We love that, folks. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be beautiful. And it's going to work out so well for the American people. Let me tell you, folks. Let me tell you.